To get a good grasp, let us start off by building some simple circuits. Wall outlets typically have two terminals, and similarly a battery has two terminals. In a battery, it is clearly marked as a positive and negative terminal. So current flows from positive terminal to the negative terminal. The battery we will be using for our experiments is called a CR2032 battery. It has 3 volts and it has a positive and negative terminal. As I show in the video, the top of the battery is marked with a plus sign, and that is a positive terminal, and the bottom of the battery is the negative terminal. Please make a note of that because we'll need to make sure that the battery is connected properly for it to light properly. We will next connect a light emitting diode or a LED to the battery to light it up. One thing we need to note is the LED also has a positive and negative terminal. The longer leg is the positive terminal and the shorter leg is the negative terminal. We will note the symbol on the top right corner. We will use that symbol to denote the LED. And what we will do is, for the longer positive terminal, we will make it a spiral so that it's easier to connect to the circuit. And for the negative terminal, we'll make a small slope. Here I've done the spiral for the positive. I'm now making a small slope for the negative terminal. Now that we know how the LED should be set up, let's get started with building the simple circuit. We'll start with a simple circuit diagram. So we have the battery. We take the positive terminal, which is on the top of the battery, and use some copper tape connecting to the LED. And then the negative terminal of the LED goes to the bottom of the battery. And that completes a simple circuit. When we do this, current starts flowing to the LED and the LED would light up. This is analogous to water flowing through a pipe. Current flows through this conductor and you have the LED light up. Now let's build a simple circuit. For this, we will need the template, an LED, and some copper tape. First, let's take the battery out of its packing. Next, let's check the LED. So take the battery and insert the LED. Make sure that the longer terminal, which is the positive terminal of the LED, touches the positive side of the battery, and the negative terminal touches the negative side, and you should see the LED light up. Next, let's bend the LED legs as I showed before. The positive side should have the spiral and the negative side should have the small peak. If you have a plier, you can use that to bend the legs. If not, you can just do it with your hand, but just be careful that you don't poke yourself. The LED legs could be pretty sharp. Next, take the copper tape, peel it a little bit and stick a small piece onto itself. It could be a little tricky when you start doing this, but as you do this a couple of times, you'll get the hang of it. We do this just to make sure that we can stick the battery to it. That way it becomes easier for us to keep the battery in place. When you want to change the direction of the copper tape, first bend it in the opposite direction as you see here, and then bend back to the direction that you want. It need not be perfect. make sure a good portion of the copper tape makes good contact with the negative leg of the LED. Press the copper tape onto the LED leg to make sure that the contact is pretty strong. Now let's take the battery and set it up so that the positive side on the top and stick it on the sticky side on the bottom. Now let's complete the circuit for the positive side. Take the copper tape and stick it on top of the battery. Follow the circuit along. As I mentioned, to change the direction of the copper tape, you first fold it in the opposite direction and then fold it in the direction you want to go. Doing the same thing in this step. Then when we get closer to the other leg, which is the positive leg of the LED, which also has the spiral, we cut the copper tape. Make sure you press it so that there is good contact of the copper tape to the LED leg. If you have done it correctly, you should see the LED already glowing because the circuit is already complete. I'm turning off the light here so that you can clearly see the LED glowing. When you are doing this, and if you see that the LED is not glowing, then make sure that the contacts are pretty solid. You can do it by taking off the copper tape and sticking it again. Also make sure that the copper tape has good contact on the LED legs.